Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joe. This is Vaulted Assets X. So tonight we're going to do a little story time. I'm going to take you on a little journey of collecting, about the concept of being patient and letting time do the heavy lifting. And I think these videos are an important reminder to myself that with everything coming at the world so fast and everybody having small attention spans, me included, that remembering that being patient and remembering time and days, weeks, months, years, this perception that we have of how fast time moves, and the efficiency of making smart decisions, and how sometimes when you feel super busy and you're doing a lot of transactions or flipping or making a lot of moves, not only may it not be the best use of your time, but what are you really accomplishing? I think masters of their trade, whether it's karate, basketball, investing, you name it, business. I think the true masters of the game and the true masters of their specific expertise is doing the least amount of moves they need to accomplish their goal. And the beauty of doing that and not having to do 70 or 80 different fancy things that take up time and energy, but getting down to 5, 6, 7 basic moves and remembering that. So let's time travel a little bit. This email is dated March 2nd, 2017. This is an eBay transaction that back then somebody listed a 2000 Fleer Ultra factory sealed case, 16 hobby boxes, and this case is important because it has the Tom Brady rookie in it. Now, this does not have any autographed Tom Brady rookies. It doesn't have any patches or game use swatches or anything like that. There's the base Tom Brady card. I believe there's like a gold medallion, a platinum medallion, and then there's the 1 of 1. Now, the 1 of 1, to my recollection, was already pulled, but you can still get some of the gold or platinum out of this, and those are worth big money. But people that buy this type of product, they're not buying it to open it. Now, I say that with the caveat that, yes, it is possible somebody buys these 16 boxes, they go on whatnot, they sell spots and they break it, or somebody crazy does that. It's very possible. I wouldn't recommend that because these cards have a very high gloss, and you never know what could happen with the gloss sticking together and the cards pancaking, and when you take them apart in the pack, they could rip. The rarity of investing in sealed product and the appeal of it is not because you're opening it. It's because of the state that it is in, right from the factory. Collectors place a value and premium on that. It is not so much the value of the cards in the box. Chances are, if you would open up one of these boxes, you maybe get 10 to 30% back of the true value of the cards, but that's not what you're supposed to do with this. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but that's the concept. So to get back to the story, somebody had this for sale for $2,800. which based on my math is about 180 bucks a box for the sealed case. They were based out of Canada. And I remember messaging them, and we ultimately agreed on $2,200. And I purchased it through eBay at the time. I got the case, and I just sat on it. I bought the case, I put it in my storage unit, my storage facility, and I forgot about it for years. So again, 2017. So now we move forward to 2021. So 4 years later, and again, like I had to go back and look at these emails because I forgot about this, the timeline of this, but there's a point. So about 4 years after I bought this case, I listed it back on eBay. And I believe I listed it for about $8,000, and then I increased it to $9,000 and $10,000. Like I kept jacking up the price a little bit. I forget the exact number, but that was give or take. And I want to read this message. I've been watching this for months. Unfortunately, you're going in the wrong direction on price. I'd love to add this to my collection, but since the asking price is so out of whack, I just don't feel any realistic offer I could possibly make would be acceptable to you. Most respectfully, Leslie. This was saying, we'll call it a little more than 5 years ago. She felt I was unrealistic, overpriced, and out of my mind. Good old Leslie. Looks like her eBay account might still be active, I don't know. So that was 2021. So after that, I believe I pulled it off of eBay. I don't remember why. I think just I wasn't interested in selling it. I thought it was a better investment long term, so I pulled it off of eBay. So in 2025, last year of August, I was looking through the case in my inventory and kind of going through it. So I reached out to Steve Hart of BBC Exchange, if you don't know who that is. He's one of their premier sealed box authenticators on planet Earth. You can check out his website, bbcexchange.com. He does all the high-end boxes, and he is known as the expert. So I reached out to him August of 2025. Hey, Steve, what is the estimate for a sealed box of 2000 Flair football? At the time, they were about $700 a box. He estimated about $11,000. So that was in August of 25. Long story short, I shipped it to him. I wanted it priced at $15,000. We go through here. Basically, then I wanted it priced at $17,500. I wanted to set a premium. Like my belief is on something this rare, you set the price high and let people come to you. So that's what I wanted to do. He had to basically open the case to verify it. He did confirm it was authentic. They videoed the whole thing. And ultimately, I settled on putting it for $16,000. So recap, paid $2,200. Had it listed at $16,000 about 9 years later. That's right, about 9 years later. So I sent it to him August, September of last year. It sat on his website. Honestly, kind of forgot about it. I'm over at my parents' house today, talking to my dad, and my dad just casually mentioned, he's like, hey, he's like, remember that Brady case that you purchased years ago? And I don't even know why he brought it up. I was like, yeah. He goes, whatever happened to it? And I said to my dad, well, I sent it out to a place. They listed it up for sale. And as far as I know, it's still on the website. So in that moment, talking to my dad today, I emailed Steve, and it's Memorial Day. So I didn't expect Steve to respond. So I emailed Steve, which I'll pull up in the next chain of emails. Hey, Steve, any way you could do a little promo or something for this item? So I didn't even expect that it would be sold. I just wanted him to maybe do a social media post or something on Facebook, or sometimes he does videos. And this was at 1:41 today when I was literally over my dad's house, or my mom's house, my parents' house. They're together, married, whatever. Steve replies, no need for promo. For a promo, it's sold this past week. I replied, okay, I had no idea. Yes, once he gets it, all good, we will take care of it. What was the price? Don't recall. So at that time, I didn't pull up my emails. I believe $16,000. We'll check tomorrow, and that's what it was. It was $16,000. So I'm sitting there a little bit stunned that A, it's sold, and B, like thinking back of the amount of time I had it, the space it took up, having the money tied up, and the little amount of work it really was. About the case got shipped to me. I got the case. I listed it on eBay once. pulled it down, let it sit, decided to send it out to Steve to sell on his website. So it's like 4 moves. Let me think, buying it, getting it shipped, listing it on eBay, taking it down, sending it to Steve. So 5 moves over the course of 9 years. Sold for $16,000. We look, rate of return, quick calculation. I was curious, like, what is this versus the S&P? So the compounded annual rate of return, 24% for my asset, versus if I just put it in the stock market, the S&P fund with dividends would have been 15.1%. Again, these numbers don't really mean anything. I just thought it was an interesting experiment. So basically 627% gain on the item. What is the point of me doing this video? So I've been on Instagram lately and I've been doing shows in person, which I never used to do. Only the past year have I started doing shows. The one thing I have a hard time that I struggle with is the efficiency of my movements and how I'm spending my time. Again, I'm not 20 years old anymore where I have more time than I do money. I am old. I have more time behind me in the rear view than I do ahead of me. Working shows is a young man's game, without a doubt. But I enjoy the dynamic of it. It is fun, but there's a lot of downside. People don't think about this, but you set up at a show, items can get stolen. You can mishandle your money. You can give too much money back. You can trade the wrong cards. You can misread a serial number. You can buy fake stuff. You can get fake money. The in-person stuff, you can get scammed a million different ways at a show. But I still find value in it, even doing it for a year. I think I've done about 12 or 15 shows this year, give or take, which again is totally new for me. Why do I bring this up? Because before the shows, that was never how I engaged in the hobby. I would buy and I would sit. Patience was my superpower. And I'm finding that superpower is starting to go away, and I'm tapping into another, I don't even know if it's a superpower, it might actually be kryptonite, where I'm looking at things in shorter term windows. And I think this was a sign of a good reminder of the power of buying something and forgetting about it, and letting time do the heavy lifting and having a longer term mindset for things. And it's tough because when you see people buying things for $100 and flipping it for 200, and then you do the math on that, or you buy something for 1,000 and sell it for 2,000, and it only takes a week or 10 days, and then you take that over the course of a month, you take the 1,000 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16, like it's very exciting and it's very enticing. But I think also, the whole concept of trying to time the market, some people may get lucky, but nobody knows anything. And if anybody knows when this merry-go-round with the hobby and the collectible is going to end, they're lying to you. And how do you even gauge the metrics for that? I don't have any clue. Is it the slowdown in grading? Is it hobby shops start seeing a pullback? Is the money from the grading and the repacking and the rip-in ships and all this coming into the hobby, is that inflating longer term, like more mature assets like your 86 Flair Jordans, your 52 Mantles? How does that bleed over into vintage baseball, vintage football, UFC, WWE? All the money is going in different spots, and it's hard to understand. But the one thing I'm pretty sure about is buying things you believe in long term and holding on to them is the true superpower. And it's never been more prevalent and more in my face and obvious to me than this little example here. And I have hundreds of examples of this that maybe I'll do a future video on. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. But building wealth is made on your buys, not your sells. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, investment geniuses, look them up. But Charlie Munger had a great example about Costco stock. And again, not trying to compare stocks to collectibles. They're two totally disconnected realms, pretty much. But the psychology of it, that he wanted to buy a great company and he bought Costco and he never sold it. Because why would you sell something you believe in and keeps performing? So his theory is that you make your monies on your buys, don't worry about the sells. You build your wealth over time and that'll take care of itself. So if you take a little nugget of that perception and add to collectibles, I think there's something to be said for that. You buy the best you can afford, you do your research, you stick with the top tier stuff, you try to stay away from the flash in the pan stuff and the stuff that with the short-term hype. It's not to say this stuff won't go up or be, worth more money long term. And then trying to chase the maximum returns in the moment and shifting to UFC or WWE, trying to go in all these different directions. Like, it's clouded judgment. I think it causes bad behavior and you're chasing something. And I don't think that's the secret to either happiness, mental stability, or how I want to operate in this realm. So hopefully that provides a little perspective. But close out the video. I was trying to look over some UFC cards on eBay, and the thing I've noticed recently, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, the top tier and best cards, like I used to be able to find a lot of great UFC cards on eBay in my searches. Lately, dude, it has been tough. I don't know if they're transacting more on Instagram or Facebook, Twitter. I mean, I know the golden auction's going on and there's a bunch of grails there. And the type of cards on golden are usually when you hit eBay. But I'm finding less and less good cards are hitting eBay. I don't know if that's because people are keeping them in their collection or they're just being sold in other venues. I tend to think it's the latter. Or people are just holding on their price and holding the line and they don't want to sell. And I'm talking specifically about eBay auctions, not eBay buy nows. But a couple cards I pulled up on eBay auctions ended over the next few days that are interesting to me, which I'll pull up. 2016 Topps, top of the class relics gold, Khabib, 1 of 1. Very cool card. Authentic event use fight mat, dual color. And what's cool is that, like, you see the main mat and then you see these little slits. 2016 Khabib, 1 of 1. Obviously a PSA 8. I wanted to read the back of this. The fight mat relic contained in this card comes from UFC 160. Probably should have looked up on my phone real quick. Let me see real quick. What was UFC 160? Who fought UFC 1? I'm assuming Khabib did. If he didn't, that'd be kind of a letdown. Wow, I don't think he did. So UFC 160, the main card was Cain Velasquez versus Antonio Silva, Junior Dos Santos versus Mark Hunt, Glover Teixeira versus James Tahuna, Donald Cerrone versus KG Nunes. Was Khabib not on it? Maybe he was. Let me see. Dennis Bermudos versus Max Holloway. No, my bad. So it was a prelim fight. So Khabib beat Abel Trujillo by decision, 3-round fight, May 25th, 2013. So the fight took place 2013 and made it into 2016 mat. Interesting. So anyway, this is set at 1,600, no bids. It's an interesting card to me. Pretty cool. So I'm going to add to my watch list. I don't know if I'm going to bid it or not. 1,600 is a big number for Khabib, even though it's a 1-on-1. Still cool, no auto. It's a pose on an action shot. It would have been nice if they got the action shot from the fight. But beggars can't be choosers. Cool card. Next, this is the Red Ink Royce Gracie out of 25, 2009, round 2. UFC. So this is the version of the John Joe that did like 40K. I think it is. Red ink out of 25. This is raw. Hard to tell condition on this card because it's a shitty photo. But it's already bid up to $1,250. But here, seller has a 0 rating. Got to be careful of that. It could be a scam. What else does he have that he's selling? So he has like some really good cards up. Might be legit. Lesnar, Kimbo Slice, Sean Connery's kind of cool. I'm gonna reach out to the guy, see. But are these type of names like the Georgia Dash 167 with the hyphen and the 0 always freak me out, but we'll add that. But a sick card if it's a legit. One thing I wanted to see are all the photos against the same background. Yeah, so all the photos are on the same bed. So that's a good sign. Not that that means that it's legit, but at least they're all taken in the same spot. Next, 2025 Royalty UFC 1 of 1 booklet. I just love these booklets. Even though, you know, they make enough of them, but every time I see them, I'm still stunned. So you got the Rosas on the one side. And you have Christian Rodriguez on this one. Very cool 1 of 1. Bid already $1,100. I probably wouldn't have bid on this. I just liked it because it was cool. I was just trying to find some interesting cards on eBay. 2022 Panini Instant Kaboom, Khabib PSA 10. I added that to my watch list. I'm going to try to win this card. I always wanted this card, don't have it. I think the Kabooms long term are going to do well. I mean, generally speaking, if you're trying to project out 5 or 10 years of what inserts will matter and people will care about, Kabooms are typically at the top of the list. I think they're going to hold value, especially if you get them at the right price and you buy the right ones. And the last card I wanted to pull up, 2013 Topps UFC out of 25, Ronda Rousey. You know, say what you want about the fight between her and Gina Carano, but Ronda Rousey's place and cultural importance for UFC and in the world is kind of set. You know, some people like her opinions when she talks or not. I try to focus more on her athletic performance and what she meant to the hobby. This card is definitely like very important and very collectible. The auto is totally on the sticker, which I like. It looks like there might be some jumps here. I don't know if that's just the way it is. I don't know if this would get a 10 auto on a grade. Probably not. So I probably wouldn't grade the auto. Hard to tell the condition of the card again. Like, not that great of a photo. Like, take it out of the top loader, get rid of the sticker. Like, I just wish people would do a better job marketing their cards and selling them, which is even more of a reason that if you're not good at it, you're not going to take the time. Just use a consignment service. Like, what are we doing auctioning this off? But it's better for somebody like me because I could probably get it cheaper. But I'm definitely going to try to bid on this. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for taking time out of your evening to join me on YouTube, share my thoughts. But just remember, going against the grain and doing what other people are not willing to do and being patient, freeing up your time, slowing down. I think it's better for investing. I think it's better for thought. I think it's better to read more books, have things you can concentrate on longer term. I think you'll be better at buying and selling and have more success. And whatever that looks like for you, whatever that means to you, you have to figure that out. Have a great night.